Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. Welcome to the Sandbox stream. I'm Alex, and here is Joseph with us. Morning, Joseph.
How are you?
So, today we're going to talk about something not so much fun, but definitely very important. Hello, everybody watching. We're gonna take a quick detour from our usual, like, all fun and game stuff that we talk about with the Sandbox, and we're going to talk a little bit about cybersecurity. So, where's Alex? What'd you do with Alex? I'm Alex. I have a haircut. I got a haircut a couple
Yep.
weeks ago.
Yep.
So
You hear the police in the background.
it's the cyber police.
Cyber police coming for you.
So we frequently on, especially Facebook, I've seen it elsewhere, but especially on Facebook, get a lot of fake pages posting as the Sandbox. And we're going to take a look at what those pages look like real quick. So some things to remember. The Sandbox is not going to ask you for your wallet login credentials. We will never ask for your passphrase. The only times that we ask you to connect your wallet is to log into sandbox.game. And I believe also the sand, what's it called? The liquidity mining page. And of course, you can use your wallet on places like Etherscan and OpenSea and some of our partners, stuff like that. But the Sandbox will never offer you Bitcoin ever. We won't. As far as I know, we do not offer game credits.
No.
Basically we have our own token. It is sand. Almost everything we do right now is in sand. We were using straight Ethereum before, and now that sand is live, we give away sand. We trade things for sand. And if we're doing a giveaway, we're likely either giving away an NFT, which would be a land NFT or asset NFTs, or we're giving away sand tokens. So if you see a post that looks like this is highly suspicious, because we don't just send people to random other URLs to claim rewards for tokens that we don't deal in. So let's take a look at what all is suspicious about this post. So you might recognize this is my user icon. So they actually shared, this is my real Facebook profile. They shared my account. They shared dozens of Facebook accounts this morning. This one page shared all of these. I reported at least half of them. What you'll notice up here, it says the Sandbox. It's a community, which is not what the Sandbox page is. It is not listed as a community. I believe it's listed as either a game. We can check what it says exactly there in a little bit, but that's not what it says there.
I'll tell you exactly what it says in a second.
Okay. All right. So if we take a look at what this account looks like, we'll see 0 people follow this. Page transparency down here. Facebook puts this here so that way people can see information about the page. It was created January 9th, 2021, which if you take a look at your calendars, probably today.
Right.
I don't think
today.
Yeah. So, I don't think it's the 10th anywhere in the world yet. I'm not maybe just barely. In Japan or something. I'm not sure. I don't remember where it changes over. So the page was created today, or in the past 24 hours. Obviously, that is not how long the Sandbox has been around. So this is all extremely suspicious. There's no extra about talking about the real Sandbox. And I wouldn't even click on this link. I don't know what would happen if I clicked on this link. I don't know what that page looks like, but I'm not even going to bother to find out because I can assure you that this is not the content that we share on Facebook and on Twitter and our other social media platforms. because the Sandbox has a lot of real content to share. So the real Sandbox page, let's I'm gonna put it over here because I don't want to necessarily like share who all is in my friends list because that's not fair to them. But I'm gonna go to the real Sandbox page. One more thing. You'll notice that the profile here says the Sandbox dash and a whole ton of numbers on the URL.
Right.
So if we look at the real Sandbox page, okay, it says at the Sandbox game. So it's facebook.com/the Sandbox game. Almost all of our social media is the Sandbox game at whatever that URL is. That's true for Twitter. Medium, I'm not sure if Medium's that way or not, but people don't usually try making scams through Medium. It's not a high scam frequency platform. There's a whole bunch of about stuff. It's our real URL here in the about. And there's 648,000 followers and 675,000 likes. We're getting close to 750,000 there, likes and followers. The page has been around since. So it used to be TSB Gaming Ltd. Page managers include locations in the United States, Argentina, France. Those are the main places where our offices are in the world. I've never been to any of them, but but they do exist. I've seen photos. Does it show how long the page? Created August 3rd, 2011, day after my birthday. So obviously this has been around for almost 10 years now. So this is a real page. It even has the address for our bank office. So like where it's an official LTD is in Malta. So that is what a real Sandbox page looks like, and it's got me and Joseph there on our stream. It's got lots of content related to the game about what we're doing. Basically, ads for our platform and to get people interested in what's going on. And it's not talking constantly about people who have liked the page. It's not sharing their personal profiles in an effort to get them to click on a suspicious link. So all of these things, when you go back to those social media posts, those are all red flags. And I accidentally liked it because it shared my personal profile. And first thing this morning, 7 o'clock, I just kind of foggy. I woke up and it was like, oh, Sandbox shared, and then I went back and looked at it later and I was like, no, that's unlike that. Report that. That was morning, foggy brain, no caffeine.
Right.
Definitely not in character for our page. Okay, so all of those are red flags. All of those are things to pay attention to. And anytime anybody sends you a link, what seems to be a business profile sends you a link, you gotta be alert to that. So what happened that made this kind of a big deal is one of our artists clicked the link and it asked them to connect with their MetaMask. And I don't know what happens in that process to compromise their MetaMask, but their account was getting logged into by this third-party phishing attempt.
Yeah.
Fortunately, they were able to move all their NFTs out to a different wallet. If they did not have a lot of crypto in their wallet, so any attempt to steal that was kind of a moot point. There wasn't really anything there to steal. But they have an artist account, so their Sandbox profile has uploaded content to the Sandbox, and it jeopardizes their ability to access that account safely and gives access to this other person to upload content to the Sandbox website. Fortunately, we do have our staff is able to disconnect wallets. So their account Monday, when this person's back in the office, their wallet's going to be disconnected from that account, and they'll be able to reconnect a new wallet, and all of the stuff that they've uploaded as an artist will be safe. And if it's very doubtful that whoever's hacked their account is going to try to upload junk stuff or delete stuff that was uploaded, because that's probably not what they're looking for. They're probably looking for cryptocurrency. So it's just something that everybody should be vigilant about. And if you ever see something suspicious, let us know. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Telegram, we're on Discord. Let us know if you see something suspicious, or if you see something that you think is okay, but you want to make sure. Doesn't hurt to ask us. We do a lot of giveaways. Speaking of which, Joseph, if we want to get the first link going. Wait.
Alex, wait.
What?
You don't know the new process.
There's a new process.
Yeah, we had to change the game, Alex, because if you didn't watch on Wednesday,
I didn't. I'm sorry.
Some people in the chat may not have watched on Wednesday. It's all good, Alex.
Okay.
I know you were in a meeting.
I was. Yeah.
We had discussed a new method for giveaways this Wednesday. Each week, each stream, we will still be giving away the Wizzy NFT for the limited amount of time that Wizzy is available. And we will be giving away Wizzy NFTs in a type of, I want to say partner, but I think the more appropriate name for this would be Ambassador Streams. So I am working with Amy from our Discord and Telegram channel. She's our lead community manager.
Amy.
And we are rebuilding the Ambassadors program soon. And at the same time, we are working on a streamer's ambassadorship of sorts. So if you are watching now and you would like to stream content from the Sandbox, be it VoxEdit or the Game Maker, and you would like some official support from us on the team, I would like to work with you and help you improve your stream in a variety of ways, including support you as a producer, potentially, 1 day a week on a schedule. And on any given week, I would like to support people in official capacity by giving away a Wizzy NFT on their stream 1 day a week, every week. So if you're watching and you're interested in this process and you want to know more about it, reach out to me. Alex, what this means for our stream is that in order to not blow up the marketing budget, we are going to take out the sand rewards from these streams so that we can have more NFT rewards. What that also means is that the 200 Wizzy NFTs that will ever be or ever exist will last for roughly a total sum of 27 weeks. I believe I did the math on that. And then we will have a new legendary asset. So about twice per year. But again, if you're watching and you would like to be a streamer, you would like to produce content, you want to make a game and play it live like we do, reach out, let me know, because we want to work with you to help you make that game.
Cool. Yeah, just the gas fees have gotten kind of ridiculous for sand giveaways. If I remember correctly, the fees were almost more than the amount of sand being given away. So it was just kind of a silly.
In the last giveaway that we did with sand, I know that the sand that we gave away, the ETH fees for every one of the three was about $20 each person to send that. But that's that's one aspect of it, of course. But if we change it over to NFTs, that goes down quite a bit. But also the NFTs are just more useful. I mean, what we're doing, I personally, and Seb agrees, I believe that the NFTs are more people wanting to have them and use them in the games. And I think that it's better for me to get out into your streams if you want to stream, and help you become the streamer, right? Like get your followers. Where are we at on Twitch now? On Twitch, I think we're well over 3, maybe 4,000 followers now. At this point, if we were trying to, we could easily be an affiliate on Twitch. I think on average every week we get about enough views on Twitch to become a partner properly. So we can again push that official capacity to you and your stream if you wanted to stream. And again, I would help you come in, and if you wanted to be in a call with me like Alex does here, we could do that. You could put me on the screen if you want, etc. It doesn't matter what time zone. The idea, ideally, is that if you're watching in the UK or you're watching in the Asia region or you're watching anywhere around the world that's not the US, your preferred time, be that there's a couple of time slots that we would consult about, you and I, if you were streaming. That's it could be early in the morning like we do here, but for you obviously it's not early in the morning. So wherever your 10 a.m. or 1 p.m. is, depending on your preference, or if it's a weekday stream, you could choose to do like an afternoon at your local time, with the intention that when your audience is online, you're streaming and you get official support that way. So whole big program for it on the back end. So if you're interested as a viewer, you want to step into streaming, let me know at TheVisionEX on Twitter, or DM me right here on Twitch, and we can get going with that process. I want to see what you got.
There's a few questions in the chat here that I wanted to get to. So Crypto Sauce asks if we got the two-way teleporter to work. Well, if you were watching the stream last week, it did work like half the time. So I did talk to Cyber Dragon, who made that tutorial, and we haven't quite isolated what the problem is yet. So we're still working on that. It seems like something changed from 0.3 to 0.4, where the timing just does something funny. So we're trying to figure out what the issue is there, and when we have an answer, we will happily share it. In the meantime, if you do that tutorial, it will work sometimes. So it may just take a try or two to get the door to work correctly. I know that if as a judge for the game jam, if I encounter that door not working 100% of the time, I would not dock points for that, because you're trying to do something that is supposed to work, and for whatever reason it's not working great right now. It's just working sort of. So I would be very understanding in that case, and I would keep trying it till it works. If you figure out the solution, if you figure it out, because you guys are super smart, then let us know, please. I would love to know the solution, because I have not found it myself yet. So we'll keep trying. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time on stream trying to troubleshoot it, because that would just get kind of boring, I think. Tyrell1X asks if the new version of VoxEdit allows you to edit land. So no, I'm not sure if you saw something that made you think that. So there is somebody who, I believe it was the winner of the first game jam, has made a tool that allows you to take Magic of Voxel Vox files, and he can convert them into land files, and he can actually go back and forth. So that tool is not publicly available yet, as far as I know. It may be publicly released as kind of a shortcut way. If you're very familiar with Magic of Voxel, you'll be able to very quickly build lands and do some other modifications. You could, copy and paste sections of land if you wanted to have kind of templates for areas. So it's a very useful tool, but it does not involve VoxEdit at all. VoxEdit does not have the ability to export Magic of Voxel.vox files, or at least not yet. In theory, it could, because it can import them. It can convert them to VXM, which is VoxEdit's format. So in theory, we may have that ability in the future, but not yet. I'm sure there will be some Medium tutorials or tutorials on our wiki, which is live now, I believe, right, Joseph?
Yes,
The
and
the
it
wiki
is
is
called Gitbook, sir.
Gitbook. Gitbook, not wiki. Sorry.
No worries, no worries. The only reason why I'm a stickler about that is because I don't. It kind of like I told my daughter this the other day. She was doing an interview with me for her school
Ooh,
about the Sandbox.
cool.
She does like a journalism thing, right? And we started it, and she was calling it Sandbox, and I said like every company wants it to be exactly the words that it is, right? Like the
The
Sandbox
Sandbox,
for
yeah.
us, and etc. And
Yeah.
because of my history with journalism, I was like, let's get this squared away, right?
Do it right.
They will get angry. Don't do it.
um let's see. We're there. Layer 2 on the way for Sandbox. The Sandbox. Just did it myself.
I can't believe you've done this.
Well, it's because it said for SB, and so my brain just went SB is Sandbox. It didn't put the TSB. So layer 2
Sure.
is a work in progress. I don't know how soon that's coming. Hope that the sooner the better. I think, but we will have to stay tuned for that. I don't have any inside information there for you.
Yeah, that I can give you some weak insight on that, Alex, if you'd
Sure.
like.
I would love to. I would love to have some
As soon as
insight.
the marketplace launches,
Oh, okay.
we are so the it's not. So we're already partnered with Matic. We've been exploring that for some time, and other companies as well, for a layer 2 solution. However, the default layer 2 solution that is integrated with the marketplace is that your sale happens all inside the Pixowl account in order to minimize fees, in the same way that Binance trading works. When you send your cryptocurrency to Binance to make a sale, you're sending it to the Binance wallet, and then the Binance wallet will trade it to the Binance wallet account to account, right? So it never actually moves, but saves you in the fees because it never actually moves. And they take a minor fee that goes directly to them in order to fund Binance.com. The same process would be true on the website at the sandbox.game or sandbox.game properly. I wanted to say the Sandbox because I just talked about that with you, right? So there is a type of layer 2 integration there, in that it's all Sandbox wallet to Sandbox wallet if done that way. Now, that said, if the marketplace is applied and it is entirely, and forgive me for not knowing this offhand because we haven't sold anything publicly on there, but Alex did sell something privately in the last sale, though. That was pretty funny.
Sort of. It was
So,
accidental.
yeah, so we had
I did get
anyway,
called out, although I didn't get in trouble.
oh,
So,
I didn't know that. That's funny. So we had anyway, the process could be fully decentralized. If that is the case, then it's not sandbox or not Pixel wallet to Pixel wallet. It could be you to another user. But in those cases, you, like with OpenSea.io, you have probably noticed that there is an ETH fee to do those transactions. So let's see here. What do you think about land rental? Would rent be paid in sand in the game? So hopefully not taxable and can be freely used to buy in-game items. Gatsby, I'm going to answer that question pretty straight up. Any Bitcoin transaction, cryptocurrency, sale, rental, etc. service that is paid in Bitcoin is a taxable event in almost every country around the world. So that means that if you were still renting your land and you are being paid in a cryptocurrency, that is also a taxable event. So just keep that in mind, that you do need to keep a record of these things. If you are earning a significant amount of money, then your local government may,
they want it.
They want to see that taxable event handled. So that's important to know. If it is paid in sand or your local currency, British pounds or something, it wouldn't make a difference. It's still going to be taxable. Um, Portugal, that's pretty nice that you don't have a crypto tax, but not all, like I say, not all countries are created equal. So just keep that in mind.
Not all countries are created equal.
Yeah,
That's just a funny arrangement of words.
yeah. I just I just like to slap some word salad together sometimes. It's just what I do. So, let's see here. 10%. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that the next land sale, and I don't have a date on this, but you could see it on the kind of blueprint or plans that we've always had for these land sales, that it's at 10% more expensive. So the current last land sale was the last pre-sale event we would ever have. So that means that the uh, the next land sale is going to be roughly 10% more uh, in terms of cost. Um, the estimate initially was to be 48 US dollars at this sale. But in the last sale, we also did convert it at the request of the community to straight sand numbers and stopped trying to convert it into US dollars. So you may see that it would be a straight sand number again. I don't have that because I'm not the decision maker on that right offhand, but nonetheless, I know that it should be 10% more roughly cost in the next sale. So pre-sales are over. We're getting ready to jump into the real deal, Alex. I don't know. Can we can, because there's been tweets about it. Alex, what did you think about the game client from the other day?
Oh, that's right. There were tweets about it. Do you have
Yeah,
a link for that?
I can
Was
get a
it
link for that.
was it Seb who shared that? Ooh,
It was the official Sandbox
it was.
at the Sandbox Game on Twitter that shared this. Talked about preseason 0 is coming 9 hours ago. The first 1,000 users to complete the preseason objectives would be rewarded with 1,000 sand tokens each. You can pre-register to be notified when it launches.
I thought there was a
There's a
video
link.
shared.
There was a video shared.
Where is it?
It is
Here it is.
21 hours ago. The
Got it.
metaverse is social. Metaverse
It's
is
kinda
multiplayer
loud.
fun. Oh yeah, it's real good.
So that's actually me. I recorded this video. It's Twitter compression makes it a little gross looking. But, I do have this in higher quality, but it's not edited down. It's
Right,
it's a whole 45 minutes of running around like this.
Right.
But you can see there are other players. So there's Tozy running by. He's one of our content managers. Lucas, developer there. The Vision X. Hey, there's Joseph.
Hey,
I've heard you say the Vision EX, or is that just for the help with spelling?
It just helps with spelling. When I want someone to go to a URL, I like to draw it out. But when I say it, I always say the Vision X, because it was just shoot. I've had that name as long as I can remember. I think near 20 years now. I've secured it on every platform that I've ever been on, because it was like, I think I was in a math class, and I love art, and X is a variable in math, right? Like it could be anything, and then I was like, art can be anything, right? Like it's whatever you want it to be. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. Anyway, so
Trick to those circular arches. So they're not truly circles. They are, you might notice there's a lot of like seemingly curved stuff. The wall right here feels like it has a little bit of a curve going on. And then in the distance you can see the portal here. So you might notice these are actually straight lines along it. So it's a bunch of objects just rotated a few degrees each time. Sort of like a Chinese fan, the way it's a bunch of straight lines, then you fan it out. That's kind of the technique we're using here. So everything is on a central node and rotated out. Let's see. You can't really see it too well in this one. But the bridge here has a similar thing going on here. I love this bridge. It's a bunch of these straight planks that are all rotated, and there's no animation on the bridge. There's no like swinging or anything, so it has nice full collision across it. So it's just a single asset. Let's see, what other cool stuff can we show from here? Oh, this is it. There we go. I should have showed this. This really gives a good view of the arch here. So
one of the portals, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's funny, Alex. I just sorry to interrupt you, but
No,
yesterday I shared a teaser while we were in the metaverse properly, and on my own profile, and it just said very simply, "Sorry, fans, people who are watching right now."
Yes.
Said no one is going to convince me otherwise. # Team Oracle.
Yes.
And I had somebody ask me, like, does that mean you're leaving? Are you going to work for, like, I don't know, like,
you're gonna go work for Oracle?
Yeah, like whatever, right? And no, what that means is that you can see in this video that Alex was showing that there are some distinct regions being displayed here. And when the metaverse goes live, part of that social aspect is choosing a faction. So more details will come through in the weeks to come, days. I don't know exactly what the rollout plan is with their social media program, so I don't want to really step on anyone here. But Team Oracle, that's where I'm at. That means that I'm loving this whole, like, this lush jungly area. These folks, that's my spot.
I enjoyed the Oracle area so much I didn't even play the other two.
Oh.
So Bunny, Voxel Bunny says that the bridge is actually assembled out of individual planks in the game maker. So I misspoke. It is not a single asset, and I do know why. I remember why, because there were some collision issues with sloped assets, which should improve over time. But to get everything working, it was made out of single planks that are all positioned in the game maker. So in here, in this paused screen, right underneath Joseph, you can see the word faction. So this is the chat area. You can see this is behind us. You can see the chat. And underneath it says land, metaverse, and faction. So you can chat with people in your faction. You can chat across the whole metaverse, or you can chat with everybody in your specific land. Bunny is Team Oracle also. Yeah, I think I don't know about everybody else that I work with, but a lot of us, we really like the Oracle. the style. I mean, it's very like very like elfin, like, Tolkien kind of elves. I mean, you got this great Ent kind of character here. That we've seen some nicer screenshots of this before, I believe. It might even actually be at the end here. Yeah, there we go. This is a post render, not in-game render, but you can get a good view of the guy right here. So we've got some Oracle. There's also like almost looks kind of like Groot, like a wooden warrior. So I just love the style of the Oracle characters. And then we've got scientists who have more of a kind of desert punk, and
you could
heroes.
See when you were looking at that the archway with all the gears in it, that was from the scientists, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a mix of like futuristic scientists with Mad Max villains kind of in this area. And then we've got do we go over to the other area? Does it show? I think
you didn't have much of that. Very small, not even actually.
Yeah.
It looks like
not in this clip. There's only so much time. Yeah, we don't talk about heroes, I guess.
I guess
they're
we're
cold.
not talking about heroes. Let me tell you something. If you want to be
kind
cold
of Viking
and isolated and all by yourself and awesome.
So this is the first peek of most of you are getting of. This is the central hub, at least the first one. And then we've got these awesome steps. These great. I can't wait to show these off. better, then you can see them here. These awesome kind of angel sculptures with these wings. These look so good. Yeah, so you can see everybody's using their custom avatars. Mine's put together from a few different parts. This wasn't meant to be me, as far as I know. Like that, I didn't pose for this, but I was immediately drawn to this head. It's like, hey, that looks like me. And everybody's running around chatting and stuff. And so yeah, this is what it's gonna look like in a very soon. I don't know exactly how long, but very soon for everybody. We were doing multiplayer stress tests, so we're making sure it's gonna run nice and smoothly for everybody. How can you go through the tunnel without collision? I made a similar asset. My avatar was like flying.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if this is a single asset or not. Voxel Bunny might actually remember better than me. Technically, I'm the the group leader for the artist that made all of these assets. But I've been very busy with our pre-sale assets like Smurfs and Care Bears and all that stuff. So Bunny has been very helpful in helping manage the artists that are. We've got a team of about 10 or so artists who are making all the content for our hubs, and they're doing an awesome job. So you can make this in parts. You can also do I'm trying to think if I was able to jump on top of this at one point, and I was able to interact with the sloped roof. So as long as there's no animation and there's no voxel models filling up the inside, you should be able to collide with the diagonals and the walls just fine. So hopefully one of these days I'll have time to make a proper kind of tutorial on dealing with collision and stuff in the sandbox, because there are some nuances to it. If you click the help button at the top of VoxEdit, it will take you to our help document that explains a lot of the stuff about collision and how to handle it. But sometimes it's helpful to have like a real tutorial that kind of discusses the nuances. So we've done that a little bit on stream before. Actually, one of our first streams way back in beginning of last year talked about that a little bit. So we're gonna hop out of there, and Voxel Bunny says Celex leader now officially, and it's a single piece asset. Alex made Alex, made by Tybalt. So I didn't quite understand how I made that piece without remembering it. So Tybalt is our lead artist. He, I guess you could say art director. He made the Sandbox style what it is, and he's known as Ex Machina on Twitter. So I'm forgetting the controls here. There we go.
Alex, I wanted to address a question in the chat here that I think is pretty important.
Sure.
I think it's simple enough, but I am not an artist.
Okay.
So, a simple question is, how do you set up the stairs so that the character walks up them correctly? They've used steps, and the player can't go up without jumping up each step.
So we're working on improving that. They are looking in you might remember when Minecraft first came out, and even probably as recent as like 5 years ago, you had to jump as you went up every block in Minecraft, except for the stairs piece, which did give kind of a slope. And more recently, I don't know if this is true on PC, but I know it's the case on mobile, and I believe it's the case on the console version. You can turn on like auto jumping, so when you approach a 1 block high thing, you kind of automatically hop up, so that way you don't have to keep on spamming the jump button. So we are working on ways to get an improved experience like that. I saw some stairs in here earlier, and I'm trying to find it.
Alex, let me impose my my crazy brain on this one. All right. Here's where I'm at. Chris Lanes asked that question, and make the stairs. remember that the hitbox in VoxEdit
There.
is the only thing that matters. And then I would recommend you also make a flat asset that is roughly the same width as your stair. This is my opinion of this. For the irrefutable perfect stair, you can lay down on top of your stair a flat asset as well, and then make it invisible, but don't turn off collision, so that it doesn't matter what your stairs look like. You can see Alex collides with this object here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if there was a flat object that was on top of it with collision turned on, but it was invisible, then your character would walk up the stairs regardless of the way that they look. So you can make your stairs look like anything. You just have to turn this correctly, right? And this is in the game maker. This is not in VoxEdit, but that would make it so that it doesn't matter. And this is just, I was just thinking of it on the fly, but I think that this will solve your problem as long as the front edge of that asset is slightly buried in the terrain. So that'll have to be just a little taller, I think, Alex, in order to guarantee that.
I'm working on it.
There we go. Sorry, I can't see in live real time like you know. But yeah, you take an asset like this and you tweak it as Alex is doing here and there, and it will.
You could calculate the slope and just type in the actual numbers, but that sounds like math.
That, like, rise over run was like 2 to 3, then you could say, okay, cool, now I'm gonna 0.66 or whatever on the slope and get it all perfect. But yeah, now it's transparent, you won't see it, and he should be able to walk up that no problemo.
It's beautiful.
Walk down.
So there is a height, there is a way to make the steps the correct height. I believe it's 4 voxels tall, which is extremely shallow steps. It looks kind of silly if you do steps that shallow. So if you set up the stairs that way, they do work to just kind of glide right up them. But it's been kind of inconsistent. So Joseph's proposed solution is one of the better ones for getting this. You could also do that in VoxEdit. You can make a volume and rotate it to that position and turn off. Just you don't fill it with any voxels. You just make an empty volume that would be similar to the way that this invisible piece is set up, and
That's
then your stairs always have it. You don't have to place it.
So what Alex is talking about is when you're in VoxEdit, you make a new asset that is a .vox asset, and you're at the very top of that on VoxEdit. It just says like 32 by 32 by 32, right? That's your volume. So let's say you make it just 1 by 32 by 32. Now you would have a flat plane of 1 voxel by 32 and 32 voxels. And then when you go to create the animated version of that asset, whether it be animated or not, and that's the .vxm asset, right, Alex? I don't want to get my terminologies wrong here, but
so the rig is a .vxr, so it's VX in all of our file names stands for Voxel, the V and the X in Voxel, and then it's A for animation, M for model, B for block, R for rig. Is that all?
Sure.
Of them?
Okay.
Yeah,
I think so.
And that VX
file name, right? Yeah.
There is going to be a new file name. It might actually be implemented already. I haven't. The new update was just released, and I haven't focused my eyeballs on the file extension to pay attention. There's now a VXMB, which is the new version of VXMs. So VXMB is that updated voxel model version, and then VXR8, I believe, is the new rig format, because pretty soon we're going to be implementing LOD, which is level of detail for models. It is, I believe, supported in VoxEdit now. I believe LOD is implemented in VoxEdit, if I'm not mistaken, but it is not implemented in the Game Maker yet, so we can't take advantage of that
Yeah, and
optimization, but it is
I'm seeing the go through, Alex, and can you show one more time for Nikki? Um,
the visibility.
yes,
Yeah,
just where exactly that eye
is
is. It's lagging
right.
a little.
It's
So
it's right underneath the Sandbox logo right now. So that animated logo that just disappeared, there's a little eyeball icon here, right next to the name of the asset. And you can just toggle visibility on and off with that. There's other ways visibility can be turned off. Some of the behaviors have an option to turn off visibility, but you can make any asset invisible with this little eyeball. So for a slope like this, you want to make sure collision is on and visibility is off. And that will get any stair asset that isn't working right. Well, it should get most stair assets working the way you want. You'll want it to line up as closely as possible to the step so it doesn't look like you're floating. And you'll want it to start before the first step at the bottom, so that way you don't trip on the base. And then you want it to end at the last step, so that way you're not hovering over the top and then you kind of like fall down at the top of the stairs, or you trip on your way down the stairs. Any of those would be not so great. So you want it to start about here and end right there. And it's okay that it goes in the ground. It doesn't matter because you won't be down there. I saw a question about handling lighting. Is the voxel world optimized enough for path tracing like in Teardown? So Teardown is made of black magic and wizardry, and I have no idea how that game works so well because it is absolutely insane. It's a true voxel engine. I believe it's using I forget the name of the technology. It's signed distance fields, I think, SDF. And every single voxel is like an actual voxel. You would call it a true voxel engine. The Sandbox game maker is not a true voxel engine. We use mesh optimizations. So while voxel art is the style, these assets are meshes when they export from VoxEdit. So they're developed with voxel art, and then when you export, they become a mesh, which is why you have like if I put the camera kind of like inside the head here, can I line it up right? I don't know if I can quite tap it in. So you can kind of see like the insides and stuff like that. There's no extra little blocks in here. Yeah, so this is all using mesh technology. And Teardown is just, I've been following Teardown for I think about 2 years now in its development, and I mean, it's out now. It's a completed game, and I'm just blown away by it. It's its own unique special thing, and congrats to them on making such a great game engine. But it's very different from what we're working with here in Unity. So Virtual VR asks, it's not a dumb question. Is the Sandbox a game or a game maker? It is a game ecosystem. So is the best way that I can describe it. It encompasses a lot of different things. So I think the closest thing to the Sandbox that exists right now would be Unreal. I mean, obviously the Sandbox exists, so we're the closest things to ourselves. But the closest previous thing would be Unreal Engine. So Unreal is a series of first-person shooter games that started coming out in the 90s. And they released the Unreal Engine as a development platform for other people to make games with. And lots of games have been made on Unreal Engine. There is also the Unreal Store where you can buy assets for Unreal Engine, which is built right into, I think, Epic Game Store. Epic's the company that makes Unreal. So in a way, the Sandbox is very similar. You can... The Sandbox Game Maker, which is what we're looking at right now, is for developing games for the Sandbox, and then the Sandbox metaverse is the whole game publishing platform. So you can develop your game, you can release it, and just a few minutes ago we showed what the multiplayer is going to look like in the Sandbox. If you check out the Sandbox official Twitter, that video's up there from yesterday. And it's going to be a whole multiplayer experience where you meet up in hubs with people, and then you can spread out from there. Every single land that's up next to each other, you can go from one game to the next, and they could be single player experiences, they could be multiplayer experiences. There's going to be all sorts of fun stuff. Little Big Planet on steroids. I'm not actually that familiar with Little Big Planet, but I think maybe.
I would say no.
Okay.
For that, I have played a lot of Little Big Planet when they first released that game, and the Sandbox I think is more, because with Little Big Planet you're you build your world, but it still plays essentially one way, whereas with the Sandbox you define how the game plays.
It's more like Roblox. It's more like Roblox with a crypto economy and art direction.
Right, or like how people used modding on Minecraft to make, and this is not modding, of course, it's officially supported, but they made like, or Dota, right? World of Warcraft, the original Warcraft 3 created Dota, Defense of the Ancients, which led to League of Legends, right? And so we have given folks the tools to build any type of game that they want. The default tools lean to making, of course, like RPG style games, but you can really make anything. You could create the next Pong theoretically in the Sandbox if you'd like to. So
yeah, and the VoxEdit, which we haven't shown on screen today, but that's a Voxel modeling and animating tool. So all of the assets here, as I show no assets that I've placed on the map.
All of the assets. It's funny because there actually are quite a few assets right in front of you, but
they're all blocks, so
seem
it's
like assets because of 32 by 32 voxel block assets. Yeah. And like the gate there and those sorts of things.
So yeah, all of this stuff was made either directly in VoxEdit or some were modeled in Magic of Voxel, which is another free tool, and imported into VoxEdit in order to publish. So yeah, it's a whole creation platform, and you can all of it is free to access and get started with, and then there's ways to earn and do all sorts of cool stuff. So stick around. It's very difficult to state it all succinctly. I think we've come up with a few good sentences before on the fly, but there's really just a whole lot going on, so it's difficult to explain it all very quickly. Speaking of quickly, we are almost out of time today. So I was going to we've been having fun answering questions and dealing with the chat. So yes. I was kind of making a gate. I was going to make a little game here, but I don't think we're going to have time to finish it today, but we will save it and maybe work on it next week.
I'm going to copy something into the chat here, Alex.
Okay.
Because as I mentioned at the top of the stream, it's interesting. It didn't go out to Twitch, I don't think. It totally did not.
Yeah, it's still not going out to Twitch.
That's okay. That's all good. It went out to every other platform this time. Didn't make it to Twitch except via me. So click on the link at TheVisionX on Twitch right there in the chat, and of course on all the other platforms at Sandbox Game. If you click on that link, you can be eligible to win a Wizzy the Wizard NFT, and you can see that on Alex's screen right there. That NFT asset is the blue wizard robed character right there, fully animated and ready for action. These NFTs are limited to 200 copies ever. There can never be more of them, and when they are gone for good. So click on that link that you see in the chat so that you can be eligible to win, and you can use Wizzy in your games.
Indeed. All right. So I'm making a quick door here.
I don't have any insight on this, but I am going to address a question because it should be addressed. Is there a date yet for the Mac update? So don't have that right offhand, but
Yeah,
I
it's
do know
a
that
work in
the
progress.
Mac update got pushed back in order for us to very quickly rush out the Windows update, so that was done before Christmas, and the team was able to take the first vacation I think they've had all year, um, among all of those development team members. So, um, Henry, there you go. Oh, good. Thank you, Alex.
So it went out to Twitch and Periscope for me, but it didn't go out to YouTube or Facebook. I don't know what Restream's having some issues this morning.
That's all good. At least it went out there, I
Yeah.
guess. So let's see. What do you got, Alex? What do you got? What do you got? I was in my head, and I got lost in thought.
About the Wizzy giveaway or about what we're doing right now?
Just about life. What's going on? What's next? What's next on the top? Team Oracle, you know what I mean? That's where I'm at.
Always Team Oracle. All right. Let's see if this works right. Hey, there we go. So we just made a little gate.
Share all the things that I know because I want to say Team Oracle, but I don't want to push just being Team Oracle the whole time.
No, I'm okay with us pushing just being Team Oracle.
Oh no, Alex, oh, I want to talk so much about how the sand incentives in the future are going to be distributed and things like that, but I can't. I shouldn't. Was he running away from Scary Skeleton Warrior?
Probably. I think he's just a healer, so he can't attack right now. But he did heal me. If you saw me light up green real quick, he ran over to assist.
Yeah.
So I actually noticed this. I don't know if this was working on 0.3.7. There's another held attack. So there's this one, which is cool. There's that, and then if you swipe once and then hold again, you get that. I like that. It's pretty cool animation there.
While you're assaulting oxygen, I just want to say I want to answer this question that came up in the chat right now.
That sounds like a great way to shut somebody up. Like, are you done assaulting oxygen? And will you let me talk now?
Okay, so the question in the chat says, is the metaverse expected to be open to the public this year? Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Then later, we were testing the metaverse live yesterday. So we will have more details on when that releases soon. But we are definitely actively and intensely working on the release of the game client for the metaverse. Which has a super cool user interface using the web portal to get into these games in kind of like the map. And another thing, Alex, that I wanted to mention when you were showing off that video is that there were these giant portals in the social hub space that you were showcased, or that is showcased over on the Twitter page. And that portal takes you into gameplay experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so you may have noticed if you're developing in the Game Maker 0.4 now, that when you click play and you walk to the edge of a game, that it asks if you would like to travel to the next experience. And so that's
I think it does it even. It might only do it on a shared experience. If I travel to the edge right now, I don't think it'll do it.
Not.
I'm not sure if it does. I'm testing.
Maybe it's just in the gallery.
It might be in the gallery. Nope, it does it right here. So it's telling me that there's no experience on the edge here. But if there was, it would ask me if I want to leave, or it would have a timer saying you're about to leave. You've got like 10 seconds to not leave.
Right, and that's with inside the metaverse map. That social hub that was showcased, you could see those giant portals there. And it has been designed in such a way where the giant portal is the only physical accessible edge, as far as I'm aware, on the map, with the intent that...
I found some stuff.
Oh, you found some stuff? I don't think we were all hopping around, playing around in there, doing some things. But if you go
I climbed some trees.
Yeah. Oh, very nice. Right. Yeah. I remember I got on some high places, some very inaccessible areas there when we were playing around, just poking around in there. But anyway, it is designed in a way that leads you or lends you to want to walk to the portal, and then it'll say, "Boop! Hey, here's a game over here. Do you want to go to that game's experience at this location?" And so, yeah, it's either through the main map tool, which will be integrated into the website, where it's kind of like top down, just like you see on the map currently, but a bit zoomed in, or on the in the games, right, where you can just walk right there. So let's see. Can we program portals instead of the whole edge taking the teleport space? Not animated. That
It's
is
not planned at the moment. It's pretty easy to cover up the edges if you want. So besides building a wall around your whole area with the blocks and just making it tall so they can't get out, you can also use the same technique that we used for the stairs here to make an invisible wall, and you can just kind of bound off the edges. So it's part of level design. So you'll want to kind of think creatively about it. I wouldn't recommend just blocking off the edges and preventing people from traveling to the next game over. I would figure out a unique way to do that, whether it means you're putting a forest around that becomes too thick and dense, or putting a lava pit, a moat or something. So make there be some reason, because whenever people run into an invisible wall and you go, oh, you can't go here, it's a little frustrating. Like, why not? It's like right there. So
yeah.
you can do that. There's certainly nothing preventing you from doing that, but I would try to make it as interesting as possible for why your game bounds are bound the way they are. I don't know if anybody can hear. There is music playing right now. I did turn down the volume of the Game Maker a lot, but there are, I think, 9 or 12 ambient tracks that you can set in your ambience here. So besides changing the lighting, you can also set, I think it's 9.
Alex, I'm not very educated on this, but Andy Ritchie, we've been working on feedback for their game. I talked about it a bit on Wednesday, but if you were to click on a single block or asset, could you automatically, in some way, select all of that asset by name in the game maker?
So you can search. So let's put down like a whole bunch of squirrels, and we'll put down some cats and then some more squirrels, so that way you can
Those
see.
are the same thing.
Yes,
I'm
I know.
kidding.
That's why they're both in the inventory. So you can see that you can. It's the color is very not clear here, but there is a difference in color. I'm gonna hide the chat, or I'm gonna move the chat, I should say, over here for now. And I'm gonna move me also, so you can see. So this is the hierarchy panel here. When you click on these, they do highlight in the game, or in the 3D view here. And there is a very slight color difference. It's very slight. I can barely see it on my screen, but this squirrel right here is the one that's selected right now. I don't know how well people can see it with the color compression that's going to inevitably happen while streaming. So if I if I control click, I can select multiple. Can I? Oh. Maybe it doesn't work that way.
Well, I guess that answers my question.
I thought you could, but I guess not.
So I would again restate, I guess. The question was essentially that they had already placed a whole bunch of grass around the map, and I play tested the game, and in my opinion, I would rather that the character had no collision on the grass, so that you walked through the grass instead of walking on the grass.
I very much prefer that myself.
So that being the case, the best way to fix this would be to erase every piece of grass place a grass that has no collision and then duplicate that new asset with no collision, um, rather than clicking on each one of these and editing it to be no collision. I think that would take longer.
Yeah.
So it is an arduous process, but it is something to keep in mind, that if you want to place shrubbery, and it's you want to
Shrubbery.
keep in mind that collision is, oh, interesting, you are selecting them but all
You can
individually that way.
you do have to manually click on them. So I was hoping in the hierarchy you can search for assets, so you can kind of isolate your squirrels in the hierarchy panel and select them that way. But there's no way to group select them here. You can shift click, and you can see the yellow highlight coming across all of them here. So you can
Yeah, I guess,
change them all
yeah,
at
that,
once,
yeah,
but you can't. And you can also like go like that. So with in the case of grass, like they'll mostly be along the ground. You can select over a wide area like that. You may have to, I believe it's Control Shift click, yeah, to unselect something. So if you selected a whole area of your ground and there were a couple like rocks or something, you could Control Shift click on them to remove those from your selection. And you can everything that is selected at once, you can change. So see how the position is kind of marked out there? It's because they're at different positions, but we could turn them all at once, and we could change the properties of their behavior all at once. We could even change the behavior and the components and all that all at once for whatever's selected. And I changed them all to collisions plus gravity so we can have some fun with with them. Going a little nuts. Collisions plus gravity do not work very well with the with the NPC behaviors, because they get very confused when they try to move and they're not facing the right direction. Whee!
it looks good though. It looks funny. Be
Yes,
good if they were like
it is like
bugs.
Photoshop where you can change everything at once. Yeah. Let's see here. Any other good questions? Well, I have nothing going on today, so I'm okay with us running long.
Oh, good.
See, the snow really
I mean,
glows here.
oh yeah, what's up with that? You got a
It's just 'cause
different lighting profile,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're gonna go snowblind, Alex.
There are going to be more options in the future for lighting. So right now there's a lot of color cast by the sky. So if we look kind of orangey right now, and if we change to noon, we actually look very blue because the sky is so blue. We kind of noted that last time on stream. So in the future, there should be some more options for the ambience that will let us have the cast of the sky not be quite so intense. But it does. I do like the new kind of coloring method. It does make some very interesting looks. It gives some really nice ambience. I think it's sunrise. Everything kind of gets a blue.
Oh, another thing, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you're working on these. You're working on this very quick game. But if folks are making a game currently, I can't believe we haven't discussed this yet.
The
But
game jam.
the game jam, which is the whole reason why, it's our reason for living for the next month or so, running until January 23rd. You'll be eligibility to enter into the game jam. So if you're watching right now, the game jam is the ability for you to create games, and potentially, if you are a first place game creator, win up to $10,000 in sand. First place through 10th place wins a land NFT for you to be able to publish your games in the metaverse. You'll also, the minimum prize for the 10th place is, I believe, $250 offhand. I'm not looking at the article right now. $250 worth of sand plus a land NFT. So super cool. Obviously, like $10,000 is like game changing, and the maximum amount of time people have known about this is roughly a month. So still a lot of time, highly competitive sort of thing, but it's worth checking out. Worth just poking around in the game maker, making something new, and having fun doing it. So you'll want to do that. More details on that I'm going to put in the chat from medium.com here in just a second on our official page. But it's the theme this time is level up, and the only specific rule is that you'll need to have at least 3 new features implemented from the 0.4 update. So there are many new features. Super easy to plug those into it.
So Panda Pops. This is actually a 2x2 land. You can tell because there's snow. So the 1x1 land kind of crops off. It's basically just this little lake pond here. And doesn't have any of the snow sections. So I figured we would just play around with a bigger area.
Sure.
Why not? And yeah, share that game jam with all your friends. Be like, hey, make a game. Or have them make a game with you. Split the winnings.
So Clanker, it says, can I enter my game? Yeah, of course. Yes, you can. The theme this time is level up, but the theme is always interpretive. So to each their own. Are you gonna try to attack with this little kitty person thing?
This cat's not.
It doesn't do the attack.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I see the swipe for the attack, but maybe
it's trying to use a sword that it doesn't have. So
yeah. Interesting. So yeah, it's totally enter in whatever kind of game you want. Essentially, this again level up theme. So run away. Oh, did it get through the gate?
It got through the gate. I don't understand. Maybe the gate hadn't finished closing yet.
Yeah, because Wizzy got caught out. Wizzy's stuck in there, but the skeleton's totally fine. Can you drop in a physics object just to see how it works? That's in the chat there.
Nope.
Alex is busy dying.
I'm trying to escape. Maybe.
Oh my goodness. Can't believe you.
What is Wizzy doing? He's just hanging out in the rock.
Just hanging out. Don't worry about it.
What?
No big deal.
So I think they may have changed something with the enemies because they used to get stopped by gates, but they don't seem to be getting stopped anymore. So it's gonna stop.
He is having too much fun playing. You're right. And
oh, he's running back to his area. So I'm out of range, and he's like, too much effort, and he just ran back through the bars. What a jerk.
So Alex,
yes.
could you drop in a physics object?
Yeah, what do you want?
Virtual VR has requested this in the chat, dropping in a physics object just to see how it works.
So the physics. So right now we have kind of beach ball physics. We can't set mass for the objects, so they all kind of weigh the same amount no matter how big they are. So if I was to put in, say, this broken school bus.
How about coins? Do some
Coins?
Do some spoin coin.
We could do some spoin coin. I mean, we could just open up the old game.
Oh yeah.
It still works. It's
Oh, look at this broken bus. How many did you drop in? I forget the last time that you did this.
Oh, I don't know. And we'll make them all physics objects. They're gonna explode.
That'd be great.
Oh no! I put in too many.
Did it crash?
I crashed it. I got a little overzealous. I dropped 100 and then duplicated a few times.
Can't believe you've done this. It's too much.
We'll just go to the I don't know how well it's gonna work. Because
we're gonna import one from a previous version.
Well,
We'll
yeah,
see.
yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know I don't think I've played this in 0.4 yet,
Yeah, you're
so
right.
it may have some glitches. There may have been changes.
Avatar. Let me show you how physics work. Breaks everything. You know? Explosion lags. Yeah. Yeah, I mean oh, here we go. Now they've all
Seems to be
fallen
working.
and you can
Boink.
collect them.
Yep.
Oh, this is the one that was spawning the coins.
Yeah.
Yes. And they're all falling and they're colliding with each other. You can pick up these coins. Yeah. Ooh.
So there's really no reason to actually fight the skeletons. It's easier just to run away from them. But yeah, they'll fall on top of each other. They land.
Yeah. So you can see a bit of latency happening, but this is
Yeah.
more to do with, in my opinion, the fact that Alex is streaming at the same time as dropping all these coins. But after a while, they do get to be a bit taxing on the system. So
We
yeah.
did make that coin gun. That was something. That one was pretty funny.
They change properties like friction. No, not at this time. The physics is just like, as Alex said, it's pretty much for now beach ball physics. They will kind of just float about.
Oh, no. There's no
But-
victory. I collected all the coins, but it didn't end the game.
Hurry before the timer runs out.
The timer's gonna run out, and I can't do anything about it. This is because of the version change. Some of the properties of objectives were modified, so my old rules are no longer valid.
Right.
Not a big deal. It just means we're gonna have a whole bunch of extra coins. How many do we have? Oh, it stacks to 99, and then you get a new slot. I don't think we can drop these. Nope. Not yet. That is, I did put in a request to
It's a D for
get
drop.
that. It is D for drop, but it only works for equipment. Oh, because we ran out of time. I died. Let's see. Let's fix that. So it is D for drop, but it only works for equipment. So when you pick up quest items, you can't drop them. I'm hoping that we can change that so we can have some inventory organization abilities. Let's see. Let's go to our rules. Collect. Auto unlock. Oh, that's nice. Now it used to be that if you just left the message blank, it would automatically start, but now you can actually define that specifically. Let's see. Quest type, counter, collected objects, tag, coin. Wait for input. No, we're gonna auto complete, and action after completion is end game. And victory display on victory screen. Quest completed, kills, time to complete, and collect is going to be our victory condition. Defeat. We're going to show... no, we don't need any of that stuff. All right.
Excuse me, not animated in the chat. Yes, it would. If you could drop it and collect it again, it would mess with a counter type collected objects. Yes. However, if the victory condition was have X number of objects in your inventory or have object in inventory, which I'm not sure if that's a category yet, but I imagine that's going to be a category soon. TM. Then that would subvert that issue because you would need to have a certain number of them. So that's something that we troubleshoot, or I guess you could call it bug fix from the team all the time, just as different little things. The focus of this patch was a lot of things. Frankly, 0.4 added in a ton of stuff. Not the least of which the ability to do multiplayer. But that being said, that's so that we could create the... Oh, very good. That worked just fine once you fix that. Quest completed 1 out of 2, Alex.
Yeah.
What did you get?
The timer counted as a quest. So there are other changes that I would make to this because this is very much a 0.3.7 game. There are a lot of factors that can be improved in this, but it's the hurry quest is the one I didn't complete, which would end the game in defeat if I completed it. So in that case, I would probably turn off the quest counter, and then you wouldn't notice that. So I think, what are we? We're 20 minutes over. So could you literally create Minecraft? So it would be very difficult. You can, in game, you can use a void object to destroy blocks. So if I set this to be a void, behavior, whoops, change it to be a void, and make sure that I have it not kill me. So on receive message, we can interact with it and destroys all except from list. And don't destroy assets. And we're going to turn on collisions plus gravity. So now when I run up to this, it's going to delete blocks. And it'll keep on digging, if you will, until it falls through the floor, which is going to take a little bit. I did not practice safe digging. I cannot get out. We could push this. I could make this a holdable item. So I could, if I made it pickable, I could hold it and delete blocks in the area in front of me. From a more realistic gameplay point of view, you can make it delete only a specific kind of block. So you could have part of your game be dig a tunnel to the other side, and everything would be rock except for the dirt tunnel that you've made, and then only dirt would be removed by, say, the shovel asset that you give the player. Then you could have block destruction be a very useful part of your game where you dig through the dirt, but you don't give them a pickaxe. So, and we're stuck at the bottom now, so that's that. We could make it out to the lava if I keep pushing this. So in a way, you can make kind of a Minecraft like that, and I'm sure there will be more options in the future that allow that kind of block destruction. But you can't. The way to place and remove blocks is very limited, so you wouldn't be able to make the same kind of Minecraft experience that you'd be familiar with. Did it stop? Is it not? Oh, I think I accidentally pressed E on it, so it stopped sending the message. It deactivated the void. So the difficulty with making it a pickable item is that when you go to pick it up, it's going to destroy automatically. So you would have to very carefully set up how your interaction impacts the void behavior. So I don't know what actually killed me there. Oh, the timer ran out. I was like, what? I didn't touch anything. I didn't do anything. So if I make this a pickable item, let's see if I can pick it up and have it delete objects at the same time. So it'll be held out in front of me. I pick it up and yeah. So the process of picking it up does not. Well, that was interesting.
Oh, that's an interesting question, Alex.
It's when I release it, it acts like a little bomb. I think it clipped through the floor.
Oh, yeah.
What was it? I didn't see the question.
Okay, well, I guess the first piece here, Clankers asked if you could try to play their game, and I think I'm going to ask you, with relation to that, will you be here Wednesday?
Yeah, I can.
Of this?
I think so. As long as I don't have a meeting or something coming up.
Okay, cool. So then I would leave that hanging.
Sure.
That hanging fruit.
What is the game so people can check it out before the stream?
Game. It has a wonderful Coliseum arena. I can't remember which. It's quite obvious as a Coliseum. has some flying dragons at the top. It's essentially
Oh, okay. Yeah, I played an earlier version, Gladiators, Fire and Sand. This one.
yeah.
Okay.
So
I see. There's
that
been a
got
lot of changes to it since I last saw it.
yes, and some playability things have changed. And then I wanted to make an announcement here for the chat for those watching as we are starting to wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
Is that E-Rain Mike is today's Wizzy NFT winner.
Congratulations.
I did the RG roll on mine. We had 110 entrants today, so that's good. That's very
Wow.
promising to see. That is up for the new kind of giveaway redemption process that we have. So that's really cool. Thank you all for being here and enjoying time with us. It's super fun to see you. Look at the chat. The colors of these chat names just lined up so well. Look at the gradient on this. Not animated. Panda Pops, Great Gatsby, Mickey McFly, and Randy Ritchie. We're like perfect rainbow colors just rolled out.
So I think there are a few staff people who have not gotten theirs yet. I'm still waiting for some addresses. So we have not done the burning yet. I did ask Seb, our COO, when I should do that, and he said to hold off for a little bit because we might have maybe like another dozen or so to give out. But most of them, everybody that was part of the stream, they've been distributed. All of our artists in the Creator Fund have been distributed. Most of our staff and ambassadors have been distributed to, so I think we're waiting for a couple more. There's no real rush to burn the Santas. I think before we do any of the charity auctions, that will happen, but that could be months away. So there's no particular urgency on that. So I'm not sure when exactly, but it will happen. We will be having a nice Santa bonfire. So, oh no,
On there.
sorry, Joseph. This is totally my fault. So I hit undo to move the chat and our webcams back to their position, but apparently undo will also mute channels, and I didn't know that. So nobody's heard you for the past 2 minutes.
So anyway, as I'm saying, and you can quite clearly hear me right here on the stream, is so there's a question on YouTube that asked if it was only eligible for Twitch. If you can click the link, you're eligible. I leave on the forum what platform you watch from, so I know where to type into and say, hey, you win. So we have had winners from Periscope, we've had winners from YouTube, we've had winners from all sorts of places, but we have a larger bulk of our audience over here on Twitch. So they're, statistically, it's more likely someone from Twitch would win, but that's only because there's more people on Twitch. If a YouTube channel blows up in terms of live viewers, I'll probably be saying YouTube a lot more often. But as it is, that's cool. And then another thing to touch on that I wanted people to know is that we are rebuilding and expanding our ambassadors program. I mentioned earlier on in the stream that if you wanted to be a streamer, I would like to officially support streamers on a daily basis. I would like to see at least one community member streaming something, Game Maker or VoxEdit, on each day of the week. And I would be able to, if there is one a week, support you in the official capacity of coming into your chat, helping you as a mod if you want, promoting that stream, giving away Wizzy NFTs on streams. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, We've also got the Discord ambassadorship where folks are helping. This is not limited to English speaking. While we do speak English as our primary language, I would actually prefer if you live in a region that is not first language English. That would be super amazing to have you stream in your native language. We are specifically looking for, but we could expand from further away from this, looking for folks in Chinese, in Korean, in Italian, just off the top of my head, French, of course. It could be any region that is specialized. I would like to talk to you. So
If you
if you're
speak a
watching,
language, we would like you to participate.
right, like if you have an audience that you would like to build in your region, then that would be amazing. And it doesn't matter to me if I have no idea what you're saying live, because we can organize anything that could help you. So if people were asking in your chat something about where do I get a link to this, and you could just point to me and say link and Medium or something like that, offhand, I can go get the link, put it in your chat, handle that stuff so that you can continue to produce high quality content while we're doing this, the same way that I work with Alex here. So we're doing a bunch of stuff, doing a big expansion of our community. Ambassadorship also, if you are a social media influencer, if you wanted to do podcast, if you wanted to if you are working well in our Discord community, I may reach out to you this week. And again, try to provide as many resources as I can to make your life better. So yeah, I'm seeing a whole bunch of stuff in the chat.
Yeah, so there was a question about seeing NFTs in MetaMask, and MetaMask does not display collectibles directly in the MetaMask plugin for Chrome. If you get the MetaMask app for iOS, I don't know if it's on Android. I imagine it would be. They do display in that, so you would need to connect MetaMask on your phone to see the collectible part of your wallet. I don't know why MetaMask on the browser does not show them, but it just doesn't. So if you see it on OpenSea, if you see it on your Sandbox account, as long as that's the same wallet that you received it, you should see it in both of those places. You can also see the transaction on Etherscan. It's just a limitation on the MetaMask plugin that you cannot see those. So anyway, I think that we have gone long enough. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. It's been a fun, laid-back Saturday. I'm glad we're able to answer so many questions. Of course, you can always ask us, not during stream times also. We hang out on Discord and Twitter and Telegram. Thank you. I wanted to say Periscope, and I'm like, that's the streaming platform for Twitter. So, we've got a great community with lots of people who can answer questions, not just me and Joseph. And wow, that was a really long comment. I don't.
Oh yeah, we
sure.
can address that
Okay.
separately. You can reach out to us on Telegram with that question coming in from Facebook.
Yeah.
Looking at the long on that, I don't necessarily offhanded. I wouldn't necessarily agree with that, but
I can't read that fast. Anyway, so thank you everybody for hanging out. Always reach out to us on social media, and we can answer more questions there. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you, Joseph. We will see you guys on Wednesday.